I need the attention of all Americans and all people of goodwill worldwide. I am a U.S. citizen and good and regular standing, and it is because of that I wish to make this announcement, which in effect will give Mr. Barack Hussein Obama 90 days to resign the ill-gotten office of the President of the United States of America post-haste. Now, I do this as an American with standing. And by standing, I mean I have been thoroughly investigated by the CIA, by Homeland Security. My life has been watched. My systems of operation have been invaded. And my privacy has also been invaded by members of Homeland Security, the CIA, and others. I've also been the presiding officer and the investigator of the Columbia CIA Obama connection, where it can be demonstrated unequivocally that Fox News and the Wall Street Journal and the Fox News report by Bill Hemmer that Mr. Barack Hussein Obama did not attend Columbia University, and therefore his degree or diploma from that university was a fraud, and that Harvard University as well knew that he had not completed the requirements to enter into Harvard Law School. But because I was the prosecuting officer that held trial in the month of May in the year of 2010, and we conducted that trial as the founding fathers so gave us the opportunity to do, and wrote within the U.S. Constitution our privilege to do so, led by the statements of Thomas Jefferson: when a government has gone awry, we the people must restore it. And the amendments to the Constitution, both 9th and 10th Amendment of the Constitution, gives the people to act upon all the rights not retained by the federal government. That trial found Mr. Barack Hussein Obama guilty of 17 counts of various felonies, including wire fraud, mail fraud, and sedition. And having been found guilty by a duly authorized jury of American citizens of his peers, I am now coming before the American people and giving Mr. Barack Hussein Obama 90 days with which he may resign his office of the President of the United States and throw himself upon the mercy of the courts. But that resignation also must be preceded by a confession that he willfully and unlawfully gained the office of the U.S. President, knowing that he was not a natural-born citizen, that there is no birth certificate in Hawaii that would verify his being born in Hawaii, that he's never claimed to be born anyplace else, and that recent developments in that state under the leadership of Governor Neil Abercrombie and also Tim Adams, the former elections clerk for the Department of State in Hawaii, indicating that there's never been a birth certificate there for Mr. Obama, and the Governor Neil Abercrombie cannot find a birth certificate for Mr. Obama in the state of Hawaii. Therefore, his entire life has been a fraud here in America. Now, this is documented in the state office of Hawaii and has been reported widely across the American media scene. Having said that, that makes Mr. Obama's presidency one that does not exist, illegal to say the best about it, and a fraud as well. Whereupon, as a citizen of the United States of America, I, James David Manning, will give him 90 days to resign, inasmuch as that I hold a guilty verdict that was found in the trial of May of the year 2010. I wish to also state that most Americans, especially those within the political structure, our senators, congresspersons, judges, and others, and those within business and media of the upper class and controlling communities, those that belong to the Bilderbergs, the Illuminatis, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and other ill-gotten groups, know as well that Mr. Obama is not eligible, and they too have been duped by him to some degree, but they were complicit in placing him in office. They withheld the information from the American people, thinking that it would go away after a few days, and especially by hiring big guns like Bill O'Reilly to state that he had seen the birth certificate and another big gun like Glenn Beck to state that birthers were foolish, that such big guns would, and then of course the third big gun would have been the Tea Party that demanded that all birth certificate questions not be raised in the Tea Party deliberations, no placards, no signs, no instruments of questions about Obama's eligibility ever be raised in the Tea Party deliberations. And hiring those three big guns and paying them handsomely for their work, they thought that this matter would go away. It has not. It's only exacerbated. And as you listen to my statements regarding the plea that we're offering Mr. Obama to confess his guilt and resign in 90 days, you may think that this is foolish-hearted and that it will go no place. But remember, the major cabals thought that by buying off Bill O'Reilly and paying off Glenn Beck and paying off Dick Armey of the Tea Party, that they could make it go away. With all that money, it has not gone away, and it isn't going to go away. The reason why it isn't going to go away, it cuts at the heart of our Constitution. It's the basic and simple truth. It is the one thing that unites us in honor as Americans, and there's just too many Americans that know about it that are willing to sweep this matter, as ugly and heinous as it is, under the rug. And so the best method now is for Mr. Obama to confess and resign. Now, those groups that I made mention of and others, their plans are to, at this point, to allow Mr. Obama to go quietly into the night. They have waged a vicious fight against his Obamacare, his signal bill, and they're going to destroy it, and in the process destroy him, and thusly try to destroy his election term bid for 2012, and prayerfully that he would lose and be a one-term president and go quietly into the night. Well, there are a couple of things about that that we cannot allow to happen. Number one, any one-term president, the most recent one has been, well, George Bush Sr., he has not gone quietly into the night, and the other was Jimmy Carter. They don't go quietly into the night, they remain. And the questions about Mr. Obama will always remain, whether he's a one-term president or not. But I think that we should not allow insult to injury in this matter, inasmuch as that these maniacal groups, along with the 2008 political class, put Mr. Obama in office knowing full well that he was not eligible to hold the office. But they were of the mindset that he had such a charismatic personality and that he was able to unite the world and bring to them the pot of gold that they wanted by owning all of the global people. He has been unable to do that, mainly because of voices such as those alleged birthers and others who just will not sit by and watch our Constitution be maligned as it has been done. And so I'm here today as James David Manning, the prosecutor and lead attorney, an investigator of Obama's movement throughout this nation politically since the year 2007, and I have not stopped my voice for one day. I further want to state that I am a soldier in the army of the Lord Jesus Christ. I am a military officer. I serve Jesus. He is Lord, He is King, He is ruler, He is Savior. And He has never lost a battle. And He has never deserted a soldier and I left them on the battlefield. And as my service to the Lord is most eminent, I'm in this because of that. For whatever reasons one may ascribe to me as having been so tenacious in my pursuit of removing this fraud and this scourge from our nation in the person of Barack Hussein Obama. It has always been spiritual. And as much as that Mr. Obama is not one of us, not only is he not an American citizen, but he is not one of us. He is a son of Satan. He's born of the Genesis prophecy and the Genesis teaching of those who were born of the sons of Satan, those who saw that the daughters of men were fair and had sexual intercourse with them, and their sons were born as giants or Nephilims, as the Bible, the book, the only truth that we can find, outline and indicates. And I am a servant of that God who would not allow the advancing of the son of Satan to take precedent in our world at this time. And that's why, as a soldier, I have been a fighter on the order of David against the giant Goliath. Furthermore, we realize that most of the political class and cabals fear that there'll be a great destabilization of our government should Mr. Obama confess and resign. And therefore, it's better to let him just go quietly into the night rather than allowing this destabilization of the global governments. But I would want to say this to those who have such a fear. America is a great nation, and we have a number of great patriots. We have people in our nation right now who are willing to understand this debacle, and they're willing to step to the plate to stabilize this great nation, both in its economy, in its politics, and in its racial and social and cultural relations. America is not without literally tens of thousands of great leaders that are yet waiting in the wings to lead this great nation once Mr. Obama confesses and resigns. We can and do have Patrick Henrys of a great sort and multitude in our nation at present. We've got George Washington's, Ben Franklin's, we've got Alexander Hamilton's, we've got them now just waiting for the opportunity to serve. And once Mr. Obama makes his resignation and the world gets prepared for it, you will see that America will not be destabilized, but indeed will grow stronger. Now, obviously, there are a large number of people that will go down with Mr. Obama on his coattails because they were aware of his illegal presidency. They were aware of his fraudulent acts. Well, they too must be punished. And what will happen is not be a destabilization of our government, but it will be a time of honor and purification of our government. There are many in the media who have falsely perjured themselves, who have suborned perjury and have lied and have deceived and have used fraud to keep Mr. Obama in power. They too must be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And then there is one final item before I close here today, and that is the item of the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, Homeland Security, and others who have been given power to, through their leader, to affect martial law. Now, Mr. Obama, in the event over the next few days, could affect martial law for any reason whatsoever, such as public drunkenness by more than 10 people, or the outcry of those marching in the streets against his ill-gotten presidency. He can create martial law. I think we need to, first of all, understand that that privilege will not be granted to him. And Congress needs to act post haste upon that. But we also need to understand that the CIA and the other organizations that have been known for terrorizing men and women both at home and abroad, that there must be a full investigation to them, that there must be a restructuring of the CIA. At present, right now, they've not been that effective. They're not that effective in China anymore. They're not that effective in the Iranian Muslim nation anymore. They're pretty much running amok with $1 billion budget, doing what they will, and bringing home no bacon of any sort. They must be reorganized. Panetta must be moved, and there must be a restructuring of the CIA. And the CIA must then be put under a more control or oversight of the people. For what they do now, they report to no one, spend money by the billions of dollars, and pretty much wreak havoc. Finally, the men and women who now sit in Congress, all 535 of them, and others who are supportive or ancillary to the Congress and legislators and judicial and executive branch. These people at present America feel that they are above the law, and they have such power in the event that they infract the law that they are able to escape any kind of punishment, court hearings, or sentences that we, the normal people, we, the people of America, must endure should we violate or break the law. We've got to change this dynamics. Our founding fathers intended for all of us Americans to be equal under the law. But as we can very well see now with Mr. Obama and so many others, many Americans have been murdered and killed because the leadership of our nation, many of them are above the law. The young woman, whoever you may think about her, Marilyn Monroe, maybe she wasn't a school mom, fourth grade teacher, or person of the best reputation, but there was no reason for her to be killed the way she was, and no one investigated. And we all have a strong sense that men of great power took this woman's life and then had the power to cover it up in such a way as no one will investigate. This must stop in America. It must stop, and it must stop now. You must not be able to attain the office of a congressman or senator or president and then kill with impunity. And what we are looking at now, as many would say, to let Mr. Obama go quietly into the night. Well, they are just as complicit. What they're saying is that, well, once you reach a certain amount of power, you really are too important to prosecute. It'll bring too much of a destabilization to our government. You and I, we need to prove them to be absolutely wrong on this matter. We can prosecute a president and our government will remain intact. Indeed, our government will grow stronger because we have thousands upon tens of thousands of Americans, patriots willing to give themselves to the stabilization of this nation. I say, if we don't prosecute him and we allow the plans that is now in place to allow Mr. Obama to lose the 2012 election, to beat him at all of his cards and games, such as the Obama health care program and everything else that he brings up, to whip him down, to beat him down, and then drive him from office and let him go quietly into the night, and let those criminals who supported him, who lied for him, who committed fraud with him, let that university such as Columbia University that was complicit with the CIA and have continued to lie to the American people, let them go free. In effect, my friends, what we will be doing is that we will be creating a greater criminal cabal than the one in Mr. Obama alone. They all must be brought to justice. Because finally, that's what our nation is all about. It's about truth. It's about honor. It's about justice. Those who believe that somehow or another the black or the African American community will be sorely disturbed and would rise up in a riotous behavior to save their Messiah, Barack Obama. It's not going to happen. As quietly as it is kept, 90% of all black people know that Obama is a fraud and a failure. They now know that their lives have not been made better. That hope and change thing didn't happen for them. Indeed, things got worse. They watched Mr. Obama ignore the 250,000 deaths in less than 12 hours in Haiti, where he was called the Black Emperor all over the Caribbean islands, where people worshiped him and thought that finally God had heard the cries of the black and the African American people and had sent a savior and a deliverer. Yet this man has given no concern whatsoever to the issues that are black. And they too will stand with the rest of America. The one good thing I think, and I'm confident and I'm sure that will come out of this, is that Americans, all Americans, black or white, will make the greatest concerted effort to unite and to wash away the color distinction that we all might become Americans. America, this is our moment for Mr. Obama to resign and for the American people to take charge and take responsibility while those that have lied, those that have acted in a fraudulent way, and are prosecuted and sentenced to the fullest extent of the law. Now we can start again with the rebirth of a nation, one nation, under God, indivisible, black and white, with liberty and justice for all. I'm James David Manning, and this is the Manning Report.